There's a lot of different ways to design websites and develop websites and launch websites. And there's also a lot of different ways to run your web design business. So in this video, I'm going to cover two of the most popular and, in my opinion, the most successful ways that you can launch your own freelance web design business and make it really thrive. Let's dive in and talk about these two very popular and very possible web design strategies for you to implement in your business. There's a lot of different strategies out there, ways of pricing, ways of getting clients, but these two strategies that I refer to as the quantity method or the quality method, I think are the most clear path to success so that you can have a thriving web design business. One of these strategies focuses on modifying templates, doing things quickly, quick turnaround with low cost to the client, and the other emphasizes custom design, longer turnaround times, higher prices, and fewer projects. So before we go anywhere and start talking about anything specifically, ask yourself, does one of these sound more appealing than the other? And with that, let's dive in and first start talking about strategy one, which is template modification. People are going to try to crap on this strategy. They're going to try to poo-poo all over it and say that this doesn't make you a real web designer. But what it very much will make you is a real web design business owner. It will make you really successful. I know a lot of people who are really implementing this strategy and doing really well. So don't listen to the naysayers. If you're interested in just growing a business and not necessarily winning awards, then this might be a great strategy for you. And the strategy that we call quantity or template modification revolves around a stable or a roster of templates that you yourself will design. Now, they can be wildly different from one another, or they could be fairly similar to one another using just slight variation between them. But you're going to want to have at least 3 to 5 templates in your roster, in your menu, so to speak, that you can start selling. Now, who are you going to sell them to? You're going to sell them to a specific niche. So maybe you build 3 to 5 templates around the trades industry, like plumbing, electricians, those types of tradespeople. And you have templates that work really well and specifically for them. How you build those templates is a direct reflection of what that niche needs. So you know exactly what to put. If you really take some time and study the trades, you'll realize that really quick contact and Google local business listings, phone numbers, reaching out and getting a hold of them, maybe even some automation stuff running behind the scene, is wildly popular in that niche. And so it doesn't have to look like a awards.com award-winning site with animations and all sorts of stuff. It just has to present the right type of copy, the right type of information in the right way. And so you're going to design these 3 to 5 templates around whatever niche. In this case, we're using the electrician or the plumbing field as an example. And then you're going to find your clients that are in that niche and you're going to have them pick from one of those base templates. Now, we call them base templates because it's just a starting place. You're not going to just kind of grab and go. You're not going to just sell them that template and give it to them and let them do whatever. You're still going to do some customization to that template. What customizations are you going to do, you might ask? Well, you're first going to start with modifying the colors and the fonts to match their brand. And so they're going to find one of those templates they think works well for them. You'll immediately modify all the branding assets to match their current brand. So maybe your templates are void of any color, maybe they are all demonstrated with one color, and you can really quickly, especially if you're using something like Wix Studio or a no-code tool builder like Wix Studio, you can just flip the colors, flip the typography really quickly, and boom, you have a new site. Now, that's what's really great about something like Wix Studio is I can just duplicate that template to start a new project, change the colors and the typography, and I'm halfway home. I'm almost there. It's almost done. And you might be able to do that maybe in a day, maybe in a couple of hours, and you're almost there. Next, if they don't have assets or imagery, which a lot of people in the trades, for instance, don't have good assets, imagery, or copy, then you're going to leverage some AI tools like Midjourney for images and ChatGPT to create some really awesome value or benefit rich copy, SEO rich copy. And usually I like to do it in the style of Donald Miller when I'm working in something like ChatGPT. It'll give me a lot of really good copy. But here's the good news. Because you have 3 to 5 templates, you know the sections you need to write copy for. You know the images you need to replace. So you can create yourself a little bit of a checklist. I need hero image. I need 3 value proposition images. I need a big feature image section. And so we only have a small little list of assets we need to create for both copy and imagery. Then once you're done, you're going to insert all of that and you're going to launch that website quickly. Now, again, using a no-code tool builder like Wix Studio is going to allow you to do that very, very quickly. Everything can be managed and maintained. And the best news is you can hand this website off and allow them to advance the website. Customer service, any sort of technical issues, that's on Wix Studio. It all goes to them. They want to increase SEO or do stuff, that's going to be on them. But you've handed them a website built on a platform that facilitates all of their business needs. Now, let's talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of this quantity or template-driven business model. First, the advantages are lower cost for your clients. And if you find the right niche that doesn't have that $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 budget, there's a lot of clients out there that have more of a $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 budget. You can offer something that hits a wide array or a wide span of clients who are in need of a professional looking website, but they don't have the budget for you to spend the next 3 to 6 months working on this big, long, massive enterprise level project. And so you can get them up and running very, very quickly, and it's a low cost for them. And you might say low cost, that doesn't sound really good. I want to make more than $1,000 off of my website, the project that you do. But imagine you making $1,000 a pop, $1,000 per website, but it only takes you a day or two to build this website. How many can you do in a month? And the more that you do, it starts to ramp up your portfolio for that niche. You start to become the end all be all, the go-to for that type of service. And you can really scale this up very, very quickly. Also, side note, it's very easy to train other people that you can bring on and outsource to do this same process. Very standard operating procedure driven. Now, the other advantages here is, like I've said, it's very fast turnaround time. Sometimes you can do sites in as quick with these tools as 1 to 2 days, but at most it might take you 1 to 2 weeks. And so you can find a pricing structure and model that really matches that investment of time so that you get a good return on investment for doing that work. And lastly, this will give you the ability to handle more projects simultaneously. You can do not just one, but you could do 3, 5, 10 at a time because you're starting to really get the efficiency locked in. You have the systems, the processes, the templates, everything you need to run through your checklist and bang out these sites that are very, very beneficial for your clients. Again, it may not be the most amazing portfolio piece for you to win awards, but it's a very quick path to you becoming a 6-figure freelancer and beyond. And so those are the advantages of this quantity template driven strategy. Some of the disadvantages here, though, might be that you get bored because there's limited customization that goes into this process, or that there's a potential for lower client satisfaction. A lot of times when we have clients paying less money, sometimes they can be a little bit more unsatisfied with the work that you do for them because they're not willing to invest in their business at a higher budget or higher amount. But you can really combat that disadvantage by having quick turnaround times, really low entry points, low friction points for them to get a really beautiful and awesome looking website. And then again, less creative freedom, that is a disadvantage. You have to be more in love with the process and more in love with the strategy and the scaling of your business than you are in love with design, creativity, and freedom. So with all these things said, this may or may not be the strategy for you. What do you think? Leave a comment down below. Let me know if that quantity template-driven business is the type of strategy that you're going to implement for your business. Let's talk about the quality strategy. This is going to be the direct opposite of quantity and low impact templates. This is going to be high impact with longer turnaround times, much higher budgets. And you're going to be working on custom designs for that type of clientele. Now, how is this different? Well, when you do quantity level work, you're talking about starting from scratch each and every time. And you may niche down or you may not niche down, but you're always going to start from scratch. There is no predefined templates. You're going to sit down and talk with your clients about what their needs are and find custom solutions. Think about the differences like a suit that you might just pick off the rack and wear, or a really finely made Italian custom suit that was fitted directly for you. That's a very different clientele. It's a very different process. One of them is pick it off the rack and wear it, and the other one, you have to sit through a sizing, through a fitting. You can do iterations and refittings and resizings. And so it's a much longer process. Now, when we get into this custom design process, not only will you have to start from scratch, but you're going to be doing high levels of strategy. Now, this type of process is not the $500, the $1,000, the $2,000. This is the $10 to $30 or $40 or more $1,000 range of client, depending on the level of investment, complexity of the project. And this is where we start to get more into value-based pricing. When we do the quantity level, you're going to have a price. It's just a singular price, and you're just going to sell them, and you're going to sell lots of them. But when it comes to a custom fit, all of it depends on what they choose. Do they need this many pages, more functionality, less functionality? And you are going to have to come up with the value or the investment that's worth it for you to do that project. I've made other videos on pricing models. You should definitely go check those out. But all of that will apply to this custom design or quality strategy. Now, when you're doing this quality or custom design work, everything is going to be custom, and you're going to do a full professional design process. This means you're going to do strategy, questionnaires, client onboarding. You're going to do information architecture like sitemaps and wireframes and mobile wireframes. You're also going to be doing things like building out mood boards and style tiles, getting sign off, getting check-in, getting buy-in from your clients, probably with a lot more meetings so that they can give you their feedback as you move through the product or project cycle. And then you're going to go into a full form of development. Now, I still here recommend using a no-code tool like Wix Studio because it's so easy to build out these designs and have it be a functional website without you having to write any lines of code. Still a very, very good direction and tool for you to use, but you might still leverage some things like AI tools like Midjourney or ChatGPT, but you're just going to start pulling those and having a lot more time of revision and iteration. Instead of your clients not being able to pick anything, you're just going to slap the copy that you choose into the predefined spaces and ship it. Here, you're going to be bringing things into copy docs, presenting it, iterating it. You're probably going to have multiple versions of copy docs before you get full sign off. And so yes, you can still leverage amazing no-code tools, AI tools, but they have to go into your process versus be the end all be all of the process. And you're going to launch these projects much slower than you would the quantity-based strategy. So instead of doing turnaround of 1 or 2 days or 1 or 2 weeks, you're talking about project cycles of 1 to 4 months, or maybe longer or shorter, depending on what the complexity is to the project. But that's really the difference here, is that you're going to be making higher levels of income per these projects, but you're going to have to do much more involved and custom work. Now let's talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of this custom strategy. Some of the advantages would be the high level of customization. You're not going to get bored with the work that you do because you're going to be doing lots of different types of work, and it's going to require a lot of your creative energy. You also are going to have usually higher levels of client satisfaction. A client who's willing to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on a website sees it as an investment in their growing business. Where on the other hand, with the quantity strategy, a lot of times those types of clients can't see the value of investing into a website, of spending more than $500, $1,000. They feel like maybe they could just do it on Squarespace. And so it's going to be a very different type of clientele, and they have different levels of satisfaction, generally speaking. Lastly, you're going to have more creative freedom, but you might also, as we move into the disadvantages of this method or this strategy, is you might actually have more frustration. Because you have more freedom, there's going to be less constraints on what you can do. You'll find yourself getting into rounds of revision and iteration even more so. It's going to be also a higher cost for the client. So you're going to have to present yourself as valuable. You're going to have to present yourself as expensive, but make sure that you find the right types of clients that are willing to pay the types of amounts or revenue that you need to accomplish the project. It's going to be longer project timelines as well. It means, again, turnaround times are not going to be a couple of days or a couple of weeks. They're going to be long project cycles, and sometimes designers don't really love long project cycles, but I have been on projects that have lasted anywhere between 6 months to a year trying to build out an individual website with only a couple pages, because the amount of bureaucracy and revisions and iterations have to happen with that project. And this also means that you'll be able to handle fewer projects simultaneously. This type of custom work eats up your time. And so it's very hard to have multiple projects like this going on at the same time without dropping the ball and increasing dissatisfaction for your clients. Now, with all that being said, let's go more into a stark comparison between these two strategies. When comparing these two strategies, it really comes down to three things before you make a decision on which one is right for you. It comes down to cost, time, and clients. What type of cost are you comfortable actually fulfilling or doing your web design services at? Are you more of that $1,000, $2,000 type person that feels good to you, that feels right for what you can provide at this moment? Or are you upwards of that $10,000, $20,000, $30,000? Because those cost comparisons are very, very different types of clients, different types of commitments, different types of processes. So that cost really has a lot to do with the style and the vibe in which you will run your business. So figure out which cost you are more comfortable with, and then go all in on that strategy and build on that strategy. The second piece was time, because as that cost starts to dictate the strategy, so goes your time with it as well. Do you want to be working on lots of projects at one time? Do you want to be spending a lot of time with clients or not very much time with your clients at all? Do you want to feel like your time is used very, very efficiently, effectively? Every couple of days you're kicking out a new site? Or are you okay with long project cycles, lots of revisions? How do you want to use your time is another really big question on which one of these strategies is right for you. And lastly, it's client satisfaction, or just the type of client that you want to work with in general. Are you okay with working async and not spending a lot of time with your clients, and maybe having to worry about them having dissatisfaction because they're low budget clients, but you know how to handle that really well? Then maybe the quantity route is for you. Or do you like working with really professional people that love investing in their business and they're expecting a lot of investment from you? Maybe you really love that. Maybe the quality level or strategy would be the right direction for you. But who you work with, how you work it, and how you spend your time working are very, very important questions to ask yourself before you make a decision. So, which one of these strategies is right for you? Well, to figure that out, I would ask myself a couple of questions. Number one, what are my business goals? Number two, what's my target market? And number three, what resources are available to me? Let's start with those business goals. Maybe you want to be a $50,000 freelancer or $100,000 freelancer. You have to figure out what those goals are and which one of these strategies you feel is going to help you accomplish those goals. Your business goals might also be tied to time. Maybe you don't want to spend a lot of time. Maybe you want Fridays off, and maybe one of these types of strategies is going to be better to facilitate that lifestyle for you. The other one is the target market. What types of clients are you comfortable working with? Do you work with really high budget clients? You like talking to those people. You like getting on high strategy calls. They're the type of people that want to invest a lot of money and you feel comfortable with that. Or maybe you want to work with tradespeople that need something up this week. They don't have a lot of time and energy to invest. And so it's going to require you to kind of work for them in the background quickly. There's a type of client or a target market, a demographic that might suit you or serve your business well. And lastly, what resources are available? What tools do you know how to use, and how can those tools and those resources facilitate your success? Maybe you want to build websites really, really quickly, when maybe having a couple of templates that you know how to tweak and change and getting those into Wix Studio, and you never have to go back to your design tool because you can just operate inside of your no-code tool by refreshing, rechanging, and doing things like right there. Maybe that works for you. Maybe every time you really want to get into Photoshop and create custom resources, and then you want to get into Figma and you want to bring all of that using the new plugin into something like Wix Studio, well, then maybe one strategy is a little bit better for you on that side of things. And so there is a strategy that works for each person's goals and their market and resources that are available. It's all about figuring out which one is right for you. Let me know which one is right for you. What do you think right off the bat? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I do lots of videos about design and the business of web design So ring that bell so you know when more videos like this one come out. Speaking of more videos, if you are looking for more web design content, check out this video or that video, and we'll see you in the next one.